All right, this is chart analysis for Bitcoin. Bitcoin 2018 January. There's a big crash, literally just on December 2016 17th. We made a high at close to 20,000, and it dropped right to 10,000, rebounded to 17,000, and now hit a low of 9,000. And it turns out that we have in LA wave theory, it's called an ABC corrective structure, and it turns out this B wave, uh, well, I'll go into the details in a bit, but we have the 100-day moving average here, this blue trending line that has held many times in the past. So if you go back into history, it held over here on September 2017. It held here in July of 2017, and it held here in April of 2017, as well as in March of 2017, and also January of 2017. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like six times it held in 2017. So here we are in 2018. This is the first time that we're seeing it. So I'd say certainly pay attention to the 100-day simple moving average, and it's interesting to know from a daily perspective that I'll do the count for you here. Basically, I've been following this way back in March to May time frame, but here I see like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, and then 5, and that's a completed 5 wave, and then wave 2 down. So wave 2 down didn't go quite as low as I expected, but then this next one, it almost looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's also a possible way to look at it. Of course, hindsight is easier to say, but right now the way it's formed, initially I was thinking 1, 2, 3, but it looks like a better way to count is 1, 2, 1, 2, and then this is a 3. And it turns out this 1, 2, 3, this 3 itself consists of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So if we think of this as the 1, and you have a wave 1 here, a wave 2 here, and then hold on a sec. Yeah, so if you have this 3 and you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's an entire 3. Then we have an A, and then well, basically it's an A B C A, and then an A B C B, and then an A B C, C, right? Or you could think of it A B 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? C. That completes the C. So now we have a 1, a 2, a 3, and then an A B C 4, and then what happens next is you should expect a 5 that goes at least test towards 20,000. All right, so after that happens, it's possible to see another correction down to 8,500. So, but I think more likely we'll see maybe like a series of 1, 2s, and then 3, and then just go up higher from here, and have this 100-day moving average just kind of follow along. So, right now it looks like we have initial indications with this green candle, and of course, green candle always happens, Friday, like after the stock market close, and then it's like at 6 o'clock, then it starts moving up, right? So I'll zoom in here, and yeah. So what time did it actually start moving up? What is that? Actually like midnight. But here at 1:30, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, it still didn't really show much indication that it's moving higher. But it's not until like in the evening that we actually see movement up. So Bitcoin right now, you can think of it as, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's like a truncated fifth. So that's kind of like the initial indication that you could say is it's going higher. Then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and I would imagine either a 5 towards here, or an ABC and it corrects down to like 12,000 before moving back higher. So those are the two scenarios I see zooming in. And let's see, zooming out to 1 hour chart. It's interesting to note that during this correction, we basically had it, this from 20,000 right here, it dropped to what 14,000, so that's kind of like an A, and then it went back up to 17,700. That's like a B, and then it went back down. That's the C's, right? So now we have an ABC, big A wave, right, forming the big A wave. And then how are you going to form the B wave, right? So starting from here, how are you going to form the B wave? Well, if A was an ABC, then B is probably going to be an ABC as well, right? So, but turns out it's actually, an ABC, and even within that little A, there's an ABC, right? So we have an A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So that's A, and then we have a A, A, B, C, B, and then we have an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, B wave, C of B, right? So that completes this B wave, and it hits towards resistance at 17,000. And then what about this massive, nasty C wave correction? All right, so this massive C wave correction, we have, let's see, it definitely looks messy. So it's, sometimes when this happens, you gotta zoom out. So zooming out, okay. So now we have A, B, 1, 2, so basically we have an A. It doesn't really look like an A, but a B here. This B here is very clear, right? A, B, 1, 2, 3, and it reverses. So this is like a B, and then this is a 1, 2, right? To the 2 retest, but then fails, and then that's when you have a 3 that breaks support at this 12,900 area, right? So when once you break that, then okay, we're going down, right? So it looks like when you get this 3, I'll zoom in a little bit here. You get this 3, 3, 4, 5, right? And at this point, it looks like, oh damn, like all the way below 10,000. Is that the bottom? And then it massively corrects, right? So when you zoom in on the hour, the 15-minute chart, I'll go back here. So at this point, it jumps all the way from 9,000 or 9,000, just under 10,000, all the way to 12,000. Then it's like, oh, did the bottom happen already? Well, that's the thing. That's kind of like, especially when you have resistance right here at 12,300, like you gotta see this opportunity. If it jumps that quick, that fast, it usually doesn't means it's not that sustainable. And so the smart thing to do, which I only did partially, is to exit your positions here. And then what happens is we have, you can think of it as an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this last 5 itself is an A, B, if you zoom in, is an A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this last 5 is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I was kind of stalking this very carefully in this region, and I was a little bit hesitant to buy. Of course, it was because it was kind of scary, but ended up buying around this area. And really, the ideal point is after it bounces up, you see a 5-way retrace, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then and you start seeing this little pop. So around this 10,000 region, that's when a lot of people buying. So if you bought it within the next couple hours, you would have gotten to 11,400. So that's very interesting how Bitcoin operates on these kind of 5-way structures, and so I thought it was really insightful to point that out. Zooming out, I believe we have a completed ABCA, ABCB, AB, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all happening in a very short period of time, C wave, and we have initial indications that this should be heading higher. So that's the Bitcoin analysis um, after this crash in January what are we, 20th of 2018. Um, and so I'll post analysis on other charts as well. We have other symbols I follow: Ethereum, um, Ripple, Stellar, uh, it's Cardano, Neo, EOS, um, and actually just a quick look at EOS. I just gave a sell alert above 14 to subscribers, and we entered at 12.4. I'll do more analysis on this one, but man, it was what a nasty ride. But it turns out we actually came out positive. So, uh, you know, so that's kind of amazing. But yeah, back to Bitcoin. That's the chart, and I'll look forward to the next analysis.